Hey there, this is Natalie, and this isn't really a proper video. I doubt many people will watch it, and I'll probably delete it after I feel better, but I just kind of wanted to get some stuff off my chest, and it's easier to do it with a kind of life update video / rant than anything else. And if you follow me on X, you'll already know I'm not really the most private of people. I like to be honest with my community. The first part of this is just a personal update, but then I'll be talking about a non-anime related topic with some stuff I just wanted to get off of my chest in a format other than on X. So firstly, I wanted to talk about how I'm really just not doing very well at the moment. Ever since I got COVID for the second time a few weeks ago, I've just been feeling extremely weak. Like the symptoms are all gone, but I just have no energy or stamina at all, and it's like my muscles are made of nothing. Plus my appetite hasn't come back, so it's really hard to eat, which doesn't help with the energy thing, obviously. Also, during the time while I was still testing positive and really sick, I didn't have anybody, and it was the second time I just had to deal with it on my own, and since then it's just kind of made me really depressed about how things have turned out for me in the last 18 months or so. In the past, I'd have had a boyfriend or a bestie to look after me, but locally, I just kind of know a few people I can go for a drink with, but nobody who'd go out of their way to bring me food and medicine. I can rely on my long distance friends for a lot of things, but when it's something like that, and you just want someone to take care of you, it just hits home that you're really on your own. And I don't know how other people do it. And if you're wondering why I didn't ask my dad for help, he's in his late 60s, so I wouldn't want to risk giving him COVID, and he lives 2 hours drive away anyway. And the thing is, I don't even have to be alone. There are guys locally with nothing wrong with them who want to be in a relationship with me, but I don't feel ready yet after coming out of a very long relationship last year. I'm mostly over the breakup, but I'm still not really emotionally available, I guess. I don't know if it's because I'm scared of being hurt that badly again, or if it just takes that long of a time to be ready. I'm British, I'm not exactly in touch with my feelings, but the idea of being in a relationship with someone I don't love just to avoid being alone is more depressing than actually being alone. I guess you kind of have to pick your poison. But that's frustrating too. It's like I don't have to be alone, but I choose to because my stupid brain hasn't fixed itself enough to feel the right way about someone. I've also been having serious money problems, and obviously being sick and having no energy means I haven't been making content, so those are only getting worse. I really wish I was one of those people who could distract themselves when they're sad by throwing themselves into work, but I find I can't concentrate. And since I script all of my videos, the hours of writing required for each one have become days instead. And then I'm never really happy with anything I've done. I've been working on a video reviewing the whole of Season 2, Core 1 of Mushoku Tensei, but of course, there's a lot to say about that. When I have energy and focus, I could probably have made it in a day, but the way I am mentally and physically right now, it's taking me ages to be happy with the script. I do hope to have it out in the next 2 days, and I do apologise for how long I'm taking. But it's the same kind of thing. I'm struggling badly financially, but my stupid brain won't let me do the work I need to do to get out of that situation. And thanks to the algorithm hating when we take breaks, my videos don't get as many views as before anyway. And now I have to pay for everything on my own after living with someone else for 8 years, and my fallback job when I needed money of picking up some content writing work has been replaced by AI. So I just don't know how to push through. I can't get a normal job because I don't speak the language well enough here, so I have to work online. So if anyone has any ideas of things I can do, then please let me know in the comments. I really don't want to start an OnlyFans though. I'm going to try to get my channel back up to where it was. There's plenty of good anime this season to talk about, But like I said, I'm so weak after the Rona that even just writing this, which is practically just stuff I'd write in DMs with friends normally, is way more taxing than it should be. I've been considering mixing in some more reaction type stuff, just to lower the load on scripting, and also because it could be quite fun, so I may start experimenting with that soon. Plus, I can do readings, but since they really kill me in the algorithm too, I really don't like to do them when my channel isn't performing well. I guess I'll figure something out because I have to, because I can't pay my rent. As always, if you can afford it and want to help me out, there is a link to my coffee in the description. I appreciate it a lot, but I really hate having to e-beg just to get through life. So that was just me getting how I've been feeling lately off my chest, because I obviously can't afford therapy, and it's quicker than replying to everybody's very kind DMs saying I could talk to them, to talk to whoever's interested all at once. I'm struggling in about every aspect of life is essentially the answer to how I'm doing. But I also wanted to talk about another thing in this video. It has nothing to do with anime, but in a random personal video like this, I think it's appropriate. I expect only like 5 people who already know what I think about this anyway are still watching, but you know, this isn't normal content from me, so I can probably say whatever I want, as long as I don't use any of YouTube's ever-growing list of secret no-no words. And that's what I want to rant about. How am I supposed to know anymore which words I can say on this platform? I mean, you can figure out that they might not want you to swear or use a lot of sexual language, but half the videos I watch now have people avoiding words or censoring them that I've definitely said without a second thought in videos in the past. For instance, if I'm talking about an early scene in ReZero Season 2, it seems you're not allowed to say he commits, you know, the normal word for what he does. You're supposed to say he unalived himself or game overed himself. Why? Why can't I say the grown-up word? If they catch on to the euphemisms, am I going to need to start writing whole Monty Python bits around Subaru, making himself an ex-Subaru, ordaining himself as bereft of life? And in my Neuralities videos, when I was responding to the stuff about child coding, I must have said the dreaded P word 20 times. Because what other word are you supposed to use? I'm English, so I could say nonce, but I'm not sure everyone around the world knows that one. I wasn't calling anybody one, it was actually Neuralities doing that, and I wasn't saying anything disturbing. It was pertinent to the topic, so I said the word any normal person would say. Equally, the R word, as in, you know, the crime, not the other R word that's now a slur. I said that a bunch of times in my video about Redo of Healer. How do you talk about that particular work of fiction without that topic coming up? And yes, you can faff about with euphemisms and stuff, but why? If they have the same meaning anyway, then why do we have to sound like idiots in order to say them? Every time lately that I come across a word I've seen someone else censor before that I want to use, which is quite often because I talk about fiction and a lot of bad things happen in fictional stories, I'm like, am I allowed to say this normal word, or am I supposed to act like someone spelling out WALK in front of their dog so it doesn't hear it and get excited? For instance, I've seen many people censor out the word kill, and I refuse to do that. I talk about fantasy anime. That happens a lot in the genre. Bafflingly, another one I've seen absolutely nobody willing to say anymore is the name of a certain historical figure from the 1930s. He's not coming back. This isn't Harry Potter. Yes, I know it's because people call each other by his name over every trifling political disagreement these days, but what if you're making a video about history? Are you supposed to just allude to who he is without saying his name? Like I did with the bloke who was in charge of the Weimar Republic in my history GCSE essay, because I'd forgotten his name. Paul van Hindenburg, actually, by the way. Thanks, Wikipedia. Though I still got an A. My frustrations with this are not just about the fact I don't feel like I can talk like an adult anymore on here, but also when I'm watching someone talk about a news story and half the words are muted out, not because they're swearing or describing some niche segs act, but because they're talking about allegations of crimes or sensitive political topics. It's just annoying. It's not good for the users, because having words it's perfectly fine to say on the evening news muted out isn't a good experience. It's not important to the advertisers really, considering, well, have you seen some of the stuff they advertise on here? And it's frustrating for the creators. I'm considering doing some uncensored versions of some of my videos for Patreon, because writing under these weird conditions where you have to question whether you can use a word like, say, gun when talking about fiction, because you've seen other people bigger than you cautiously censor it out, is just hard. But for now, I guess I'll be talking about Rudy having segs and Subaru being unalived while we're on here. I don't know. I just feel like the world's going mad. I'm going mad. Everything is so much more difficult than it needs to be, and I don't know what the answers are. I'll hopefully bring you some carefully sanitized anime content in the coming days, but for now, thank you so much for listening to my airing of grievances. Thank you to the absolute lifesavers who support me, and I really, really hope to see you all again very soon.